All right.
Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj for the Everyday Fan Sports. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Camren Renfro. It said soon-to-be freshman at Iowa Colony High School in Iowa Colony, Texas, and a quarterback on the football team. Camren, once again, thank you so much for the opportunity. It said to speak with you. It said congrats on your success, and I'm sure it said definitely looking forward to again your freshman year at Iowa Colony High School.
Thank you.
No problem. Hey, let's just talk about how everything is going so far here in the summer, preparing for the 2022 season. It said a brand new high school here. It said making that transition, of course, from middle school to high school. Just wanted to ask you so far how everything is panning out for you, Camren.
Everything's going very well. I've been putting the work in to prepare for this level because my school, Iowa Colony, we coming out the gate with varsity, so I'm trying to get very prepared to play varsity football.
That's great. Hey, I've been taking a look at those facilities. They're phenomenal at Iowa Colony High School. The weightlifting, football field. I mean, that's really got to stand out to you and really give you some, give you an adrenaline rush, knowing, soon to be, putting that jersey, those pads on. Just talk about just what just what you're feeling right now. I'm sure that there's a lot of anticipation, for this season, being able to perform at that highest level. But just talk about that, coming out every day for practice, again, seeing those facilities, Camren.
I just feel very excited and just to build a bond with different people around the area, new coaches, new teammates. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just like want to build bonds. Like when I walk into the facility, I feel like being the leader is key for me as being a quarterback. So I just be trying to spread positivity around the whole team so we can build great bonds.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I think that's really, this is where you really establish that team chemistry and that cohesiveness with your teammates, with the coaching staff. Let's talk about head coach and assistant athletic director Ray Garza. Talk about Coach Garza and just their interactions so far, and just in terms of, I'm sure you're working through that playbook and, said working on your skill set as well, the fundamentals. Just talk about that aspect, Camren.
Coach Garza, I like him as a coach because he trusts me as a person. So he gives me very good advice because he has been in them shoes, and he has, like, his recent school, he won state with Shadow Creek High School. I don't know if you know who that is. I mean, that school is. But, yes, I trust Coach Garza and what he be saying because I see the things he put through, and I see he wants the best for me.
That's great. That's great. And just talk about your teammates being able to, again, quarterback position. You've been playing for a couple of years now. Talk about, I'm sure, with the running backs, the offensive line, the wide receivers, just getting, your timings down. Just talk about that process. I know you're early on. You still have a chunk of time left here in the summer, before the season starts. Just talk about that, Camren.
Our O-line, our running back is pretty solid. Mm-hmm. And our O-line is pretty solid. So I feel like we should have some good talent coming out the gate because we're starting off in 4A. So yeah, I think we should like dominate.
That's great. Hey, let's talk about you coming from, Rodeo Palms Middle School. Talk about, your time there and, playing sports, and now here, of course, now, stepping up to the high school level here, Camren.
Middle school, I feel like it's going to be like middle school. I felt like it was a cakewalk. Like it was, and I feel like going to high school is going to be much harder, especially that I'm playing varsity at this young age.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like I got to be more prepared and more, like, have more thinking of the certain things I do, because like every move that I make on that team, it's probably going to affect the team. So I be trying to stay on my A game all the time.
That's terrific. Hey, let's talk about, especially we're still in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic, even though things are returning to normal. Just talk about how your training, like strength and conditioning, your nutrition. We talk about mental health, watching film. Talk about some of those components, like what you do. I mean, the highlight videos, and even the training videos are very impressive. What you've been able to do. Just talk about that part. I just wanted to ask you, Camren.
Well, during COVID, we couldn't really do that much, so I would try to do anything as possible to perfect on my craft.
Mhm.
So I would like go in the gym, lift with my dad, and after that, after COVID and all that got over, we really started going to trainers or whatever, like even more. Even though we was already doing it before, we just started getting back with them so we can elevate and get more better. So yeah, I feel like as like all these trainings, I feel like I've been progressing ever since COVID. So
That's great. Yeah, I mean, you're still growing, and that's the thing is that you still. I mean, after this, you got 3 more years left, and I'm sure you're going to be in terms of your height and your weight. Talk about you worked on. You've been working on your technique, your fundamentals in terms of seeing it, like as far as that quarterback position. It's the most important position on the field, and I've seen like you've talked about it in your videos with your feet, with your hips, because there's so much that goes into it. It's just not about throwing the ball, running the ball. I said just trying to evade. Said defensive, players from coming in, rushing you. Just talk about that part of the game as well, Camren.
well, on my half, I know the quarterback is the key position on the team. So before every like snap or every possession, I be trying to stay calm and relax because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself before I head onto the field.
Yeah.
So I be trying to be more calm, confident, because I know this drive can mean something later on in the game. So I be trying to think, or I don't be thinking, but I be trying to stay relaxed and calm and confident so I can make good plays, do his best for the team.
That's great. Hey, I wanted to ask you, since you recently been playing this position, any other positions that you played, beforehand as well, in terms of football, Camren?
No, sir.
Okay. Just about the position, what makes it like, really special for you to play, that and now, especially you're going to be on varsity here. I mean, that's tremendous. Just talk about that. What, just some of the things that really stand out about playing the quarterback position for you.
What stand out to me is I feel like the quarterback position is the leader of the team, like the coach of the team. Like everybody relies on you. And like ever since when I was little, that always inspired me. Like the first position I ever played was quarterback, and then I was just going out there playing, not knowing that it might mean something to me in the long run. So like 2 years later, I actually started training to get like actually knowing to play the quarterback position. Because when I was little, I was really just going out there playing QB. I was still doing teams, but I really didn't know how to play the QB position. Now that I understand it, I feel more confident, and I feel very good to have that role.
That's fantastic. You're a multi-sport athlete, basketball, track, tennis, and I had to ask you that the fact that you play those multiple sports and staying, in shape year round, I think is really essential, especially, being so young. Talk about that, said, and just, in terms of, I know football is your main sport, but just talk about those other sports and what, they bring to the table in terms of your success and just, again, your conditioning as well, Camren.
Well, all these different sports, I feel like it has some, like, it can perfect me in anything, because in basketball, you run a lot, and it's like, that's more conditioning. So I just like during the school year, I just want to keep myself active so I can, because, some people, they fall like after football season, their grades fall. So I'm not trying to be one of them people. So I just try to stay active and to do different things, like tennis, you run, basketball, you run, and track, you run. But it's all a mental thing sometimes. So yeah, I just be trying
Yeah, I think you make an excellent point there, Cameron, that the fact that everybody talks about the physicality of playing sports, but if you're not mentally sharp and in tune, it really can, I mean, that can really throw you off. And the fact that, you've been able to, maintain both of those is just outstanding. Hey, let's talk about, I mean, it's just not about being an athlete, it's being a student athlete. And you definitely excelled, at Rodeo Palms Middle School, maintaining A's and B's. Talk about that, that time management, that organization. I'm sure here, of course, at, Iowa Colony High School, I mean, it's going to definitely get intense here in terms of the schoolwork. Talk about how you've been able to, again, balance that out, perfectly.
I really just keep the same work ethic in football, and I just relate it to schoolwork, because I know you can't only just be an athlete. You have to be a student athlete, and that's the main thing about being an athlete. Like, you have to maintain good grades so you can attend these good schools with a high GPA, and then more in the long run, your grades, they can affect you when you get older. Like, you will know more stuff. So I just keep it balanced, because I don't want to just be one of them student athletes that don't know nothing, or just with a low GPA. I want to excel with not only just football but in the classroom as well.
That's terrific. Okay, I was just wondering, growing up, any other sports? I mean, we talked about basketball, track, and tennis. Just any other sports, or primarily, football as well included, that you just played those sports? I was just wondering, Cameron.
I would play baseball. I
Okay.
don't know why, but I would play baseball, and
Yeah.
I am going to start playing the upcoming season for baseball,
Oh, great.
because I that it can affect quarterback more often, and I heard it's very fun.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to try first time. You never know. I feel like I'll love it.
Yeah, very nice. That's great. Okay, we all know you need a support system. Your family come from a big family. It said you got your parents, got four younger sisters. Had to ask you, just what they've meant to you, along this journey, both academically and athletically, and just, I know that you have a bunch of hobbies, spending time with family, playing video games, and making TikTok videos with your younger sister. So just talk about what they've meant to you here, Cameron.
As the oldest in family and the oldest brother, I just be trying to set an example for the youngest. I just be respectful. I just do certain things so I can set the tone for the younger ones, and I just spend time with them so we can just have a great bond. Just sometimes, too, because when I'm doing football, I don't really get to see them, because
Mhm.
I just doing what I love. But when I have time to spend with them, I just vibe it out with them, or I just chill with them, or whatever.
That's great. Okay, tell about your mom and dad as well, Cameron.
My mom and dad, they are very hardworking, and they want the best for me as well. So they just give me a boost in confidence of doing putting time and effort in things that I want to achieve.
Yeah.
Like my dad, he wants the best for me. All these things he's sacrificing for me to do.
Mhm.
I should just
Yeah.
can't express enough.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful to have that connection, of course, with your dad. And I wanted to ask you, in terms of also, there's something that popped into my head in terms of capitalizing, on social media. It's become a huge platform in terms of Twitter. Oh, what happened here? Hello? Oh boy.
Somebody had called me.
Okay. Okay. Thought I lost you there for a second. Okay, yeah. Just in terms of highlight videos, being able to, showcase your talent out there. How important is that for you? Because I know there are a lot of athletes in the sport, and it's very competitive out there. But just talk about being able to utilize, especially Twitter, Cameron.
I use social media as a thing for us to evaluate our film to coaches. So social media nowadays is for you to get recognized, because I feel like the more film you have and the more people you know,
yeah,
it will get you where you want to be. So I just like put in the work. So then after this season, I'm trying to go hard so I can have like people to look like. That's not my main goal, but it's something that I want to put in the books.
That's great. Okay, just a couple more left here, Cameron. I'm wondering when it comes to either college football, NFL on Sundays, any particular quarterbacks you pay close attention to, and sort of try to maybe take away some tidbits, nuggets away from their game and sort of apply to your game.
I'll say Bryce Young and Kyler Murray for reasons because they not the tallest, they're not the strongest, but they know how to play. So they just don't let their height and their weight affect them. They just they don't listen to the haters. They just go out and play ball and do what's best for their team.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, before you get the last word here, Cameron, I'm wondering, I think you're in a perfect spot. What your message is for those younger kids and athletes who are trying to, succeed in sports, trying to find their way and move up the ladder. What would you say to them, what you've learned, along the way that, maybe they can take away if they watch this interview and, just see, where their pathway is, in terms of playing sports?
Just keep working. Everything not granted. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Because like you keep putting in the work, the results will happen over as you like repetition. The more you do it, more better you'll get at it. So that's all I like to say.
That's great. Okay, Cameron, you get the final word here. Message for family, friends, classmates, teammates. Rodeo Palms Middle School, and now your new family. Iowa Colony High School. Your coaches, your teammates, and your new classmates here. You have the floor here, Cameron.
I would like to I appreciate them for giving me good advice. Like my coaches at Rodeo Palms, I would like to thank Coach Albergo, Coach Jordan, all of them for dropping jewels and giving me good advice for me going to high school. And I would like to thank my teachers for getting me to where I want to be. So, and I just feel like going to high school, it's just going to be middle school, but just with a little bit of twist. That's how I feel like it.
All right, sounds good. Hey, Cameron, it's an incredible honor and privilege being able to interview you. Congrats on your success, and wishing you all the best. At Iowa Colony High School here in the upcoming fall, and looking forward to seeing what you do here for the next 4 years.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for talking to me, Mr. Raj.
Thank you.